Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh my goodness, it is time for the very first Knights of the Frozen Throne card reveal discussion. And we're not going to do the cards yet. We're going to start with the discussion. I'm Sean Plott, aka Day9, joined by Matt Place. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
How's it going, Sean? I'm excited. Yeah.
I'm vibrating with excitement.
I can feel it.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I don't see the cards before we do the show. So this is the first time that I will get the chance to see them. And how many cards are we going to be looking at today?
I think it's just a dozen. Yeah, about 10. Yeah.
About the same as last time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, Matt, first of all, I just got to ask, who are you? What do you do here at Blizzard?
I'm Matt Place, senior designer on Hearthstone, and I'm on the initial design team, and I was the lead for Knights of Frozen Throne.
So what does initial design team mean?
Right, so we, as the initial design team, we start the sets off. We go, hey, where are we going? What is the set going to be about? And we take it to, like, what mechanics do we want to do? Which characters are we going to introduce? We get to do a lot of the voice acting stuff. We get to write that.
Yeah,
a lot of fun stuff, yeah.
Oh, you actually do some of the dialogue lines?
Yeah, we get to do that as well, yeah. Which is super fun. We get to go to the studio and have all those awesome voice actors record it, which is super fun.
And, you know, when I was here last time talking to Peter Whalen about, you know, Journey to Ungoro, it was about dinosaurs, right? The theme was to create this sort of new place that you were going to journey to.
Right.
But with this expansion, it's actually based on existing story stuffs on Wrath of the Lich King.
Right, it's interesting. Yeah, unlike Mean Streets or Ungoro, where we kind of took more liberties and we're like, hey, where are we going? What are we going to do with the set? And it was up to us more. Here we're pulling from kind of the lore from World of Warcraft. And it introduced some interesting challenges, right? Because we want to tell that epic story, but in a Hearthstone setting, right?
The story's a little darker than Hearthstone, I'd say. Hearthstone's kind of goofy and cheerful and colorful.
Right, which created a huge challenge, right? You know, Arthas poisons the grain of all the villagers and kills them all off. That's pretty dark for Hearthstone. Right. So taking that to Hearthstone was a challenge, but a lot of fun. And so the missions is where we really explore his story in Hearthstone and a lot of his writing. And Dave Kozak, who's the lead for missions, did a wonderful job of keeping that character, the Lich King, while also becoming hilarious.
Wait, but he was also the writer on the original.
Oh, he did a lot of writing for World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Which is cool to have him on the Hearthstone team.
That's awesome. It's the same authorial voice in both places.
Yeah.
You know, and you mentioned a little bit about the single player missions there.
Right.
And I know that in previous sets that were released, you had your individual, like Blackrock Mountain was very adventure focused.
Right.
And you know, other sets were not. They were just the raw cards. How does that look in terms of, like, I'm a player, I'm sitting down, how do I experience it?
Right, so in the past we've done either the full expansion or the missions. And so now we're combining both. And so this was the perfect time to do an epic story like Wrath of the Lich King, right? Knights of the Frozen Throne, because we get to tell that story in both the missions and on the card sides. We have plenty of canvas to tell that story. So yeah, the timing worked out perfectly.
So I want to talk a little bit about what has been discussed, what has been released to the public in terms of the mechanics, what's in the expansion. Talk to me about the new mechanics first.
Yeah, so we've got lifesteal is the new keyword, right?
Yeah.
Minions that deal damage that have lifesteal restore that much health to your hero.
Yeah.
Which is great, right? We've got a lot of different types of angles we want to push. This really helps the mid speed and the control decks.
Yeah, I was going to say there's been a lot of burst heals, like I think to anti-heal bot or Reno Jackson, where you feel so close to killing your opponent and they're just boom up 16
back to 30,
health with a brand and an anti-heal bot. I mean, it feels like lifesteal kind of evens it out a little more.
Yeah, lifesteal's interesting in that you the potential is there, right? If you keep a 4/4 lifesteal around for 3 turns, that's 12 more health for you. But it's also got the counterplay, right? If your opponent kills it before it can fight, well, that's no healing.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting that it's got kind of upside on both sides, right? Your opponent has better counterplay, and you have the potential to, go back to full with these minions.
Now, I have to ask about the Death Knights and their theme.
Yeah.
And I've even seen the priest that appears to be holding shadow form.
Right.
And in case you don't know anything about me, I'm fairly one-dimensional. I ask every card, does this work for Shadow Priest? Does this work for Ram Druid? Or will this make an incredibly stupid combo? And you'll notice that I started that list with a Shadow Priest. So I don't know if you get to tell me anything, but the Death Knights, who are they?
Right, so to not get in trouble with too many spoils, but yeah, if you're a Shadow
things that he's not supposed to, because I'm very selfish and I want to know what's going to be happening in the cards.
Yeah, and if I'm fired in a couple days, we'll know you succeeded at that.
That's great. Matt plays his job on Saturday, and Sean will be streaming on Monday.
Right.
So, Death Knights.
Yes.
How'd they come about?
So we, when we started going down this path, one of the things is how do we put Death Knight into Hearthstone? And so we explored what if the heroes of Warcraft, which we haven't focused on a ton, right? Jaina and Gul'dan and these characters, what if they became the main characters of the set? And what if we killed them and raised them as Death Knights? And as we were exploring that, we said maybe they could be legendary minions, right? That makes sense. Make them badasses. And as we explored that, we're like, well, it's kind of weird for Gul'dan to play Gul'dan. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So when the cinematics team started exploring it, they came up with a lot of the visuals that you see in the final cinematic. And it became clear to us, okay, this is the major piece of the set. These heroes dying and being risen as Death Knights. So let's do something even beyond just legendary minion. And we started exploring the hero cards for each of the Death Knights.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think thus far there's the Hunter Zombeast that piqued a lot of people's interest. And in terms of that card, that kind of shifts the Hunter identity a lot. Because I feel like historically, you're kind of leaning hard in certain directions just by virtue of the hero power.
Right, the hero power, a lot of the cards that have been made push towards that aggressive face hunter, is the class probably most associated with that. And this...
I'll see you at Legend rank, face hunters.
And that's a big piece of Knights of the Frozen Throne is kind of like Ungoro succeeded so well with quests and all the different build-arounds, elementals, giving each class a lot of new decks to build. That's a big focus for Knights of the Frozen Throne as well. So you see Rexar, Deathstalker Rexar, giving mid-speed control hunter something to look at, right? You're building a beast every turn, tons of card advantage from that. There's new beasts in the set. Maybe one has lifesteal, right? So you can get some life back in your hunter deck.
Maybe one has lifesteal.
If I'm wrong, everybody's like, why did he say that? No, maybe. But so that's a lot of fun, right? And we're seeing that succeed really well with Ungoro, right? When you join the ladder, you got a lot of options that you can play that are viable, and your opponents have a lot of variety, which makes it a lot more fun to play ladder.
So I'm sort of curious when you say build-arounds, I think to the Cthulhu decks where you had to have a pretty substantial amount of Cthulhu cards in there, and then Cthulhu. So a lot of your deck was skewed in that direction. Or a Mara Priest needs at least 7 Death Rattles in there, which can be a pretty dramatic shift for a lot of Priest players. How are you thinking of those types of build-arounds? Is it something like Curator-style build-arounds where you get 1 or 2 cards that have synergy, or like Reno that shapes your whole deck?
Right. Yeah, our goal is to put build-arounds, cards that make your deck kind of shift in a different way to get their power in lots of different spots. So a lot of the Death Knight heroes actually do that in a way where you're like, maybe I want to control the game a bit more, play a slower game so I can take advantage of this hero power over turns. But not to the level of something like Cthulhu, where I need to combine every card to work with it, right? I have to play all the pieces. Elemental is kind of a good example from Ungoro that's in between that. The princes, the Blood Prince Council, we've shown some of those. They say their cost, right? So the 2-cost prince is the only 2 costs you can have in your deck. Well, that's one that's also kind of a neat build around. You can maybe still do elementals, you can do anything you want, but it puts a restriction there. It's like a Reno Light in a sense, right? Here's something you can't do. So we try to do them in all different types of levels, dominant to light.
Yeah, and there was the neutral card that was released that was saying like, if you have Wind Fury or Taunt or Divine Shield in your deck, then me, the neutral, I'm going to get those properties. That's like a very light build-around element.
Yeah, Corpse Taker, a lot of fun, right? It's in neutral, and I love this card. This is actually one that I tweeted about. I'm like, I can't wait for people to see this. I love this card. It's a great example of a card where you play with it for a bit, and you go, oh, maybe I should have 2 Wind Fury, because when you draw the first Wind Fury, the way Corpse Taker works is anything left in your deck with Wind Fury will give it Wind Fury. So having 2 helps increase your odds.
And if I've already drawn my 1 Wind Fury card,
you won't get it. Right. And then also exploring the different classes, right? Alakir and Shaman, who has, I think, 3 of the things that Corpse Taker wants, right? Divine Shield, Wind Fury, and Taunt. Pretty perfect for it, right? So it has different meaning based on the class you're playing. But yeah, I love those types of build rounds.
Well, I'm very eager to begin to step into these cards because we've gotten a chance to talk about where the set's coming from, what's in the set. And now I just want to see some damn cards. So let's go into the very first one. This is the very first time I'm going to look over at my card monitor. Let's see if it happens. Okay. Here we go. It's...
Voila!
You're going to hit me with a 0-mana 1/1 neutral? I mean, let's just note that this is, I'm sure, the cutest art in the set.
It's got to be. I think you're right.
Will we see any snow flipper penguins die in videos today?
I won't spoil anything.
Will a monster who's running production put a video of snow flipper penguins dying one after the other? It would. My God, that would be appalling.
We'll skip that. That sounds a little brutal.
So tell me a little bit about the 0-mana 1/1 beast. This reminds me, obviously, of the 0-mana 1/1 Murloc that can actually have some interesting synergies when combined with, Steward of Darkshire, give you a little extra momentum for your war leader.
Right.
Tell me about the design of this particular one.
Yeah, it's so the tag beast, right? The minion type beast can do a lot of things like the Murloc did for the 0-cost 1/1 for Murloc. And this card's also interesting because it can actually improve Hunter without even being in your deck. One of the times that I'm happiest to see this is with Deathstalker Rexar's Hero Power. When you're doing Build-A-Beast, when you're making your Zombeast, this shows up, adds no cost. Right, exactly. And when you say only have 4 mana left over, which is the cost of maybe the other beast that you picked, this means you'll be able to play that beast this turn and get +1/+1. So it's almost like a buff to Hunter without even needing to run it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like this has been increasingly emerging. I think back to, the Hydrologist. There's only 5 secrets in Paladin.
Right.
And therefore, in Standard, forgive me, in Standard. Sorry, wild players. There's only those 5 in Standard that you need to worry about.
Right.
And so, even though Repentance is not a hard run card, Redemption is not really a hard run card, you can get situations where these are actually valuable. And we've seen Eye for an Eye be instrumental against mages in order to have them pop their own.
Against Dice Block,
Yeah, go right through it. So, I mean, is this more so geared towards that type of logic, having more Discover options?
Yeah, it's interesting to be part of Discover, but it also can do kind of what the Murloc did, right? There's a lot of beast matters, obviously, in Druid, but mostly in Hunter, where having a beast out early can, your hyena can grow faster. All these types of things can matter earlier, which also can help. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how this one plays out as well, because I mean, Alley Cat looks relatively innocuous with 2/1/1s.
Right.
But that is like
it's
the
a great
golden
example. Yeah.
first 2 turns
Right.
for a Hunter that immediately goes straight into the Scavenging Hyena and it just goes out of control from there.
Exactly, yeah. And I love the golden on this. He's surfing down the slopes on his surfboard. So.
Oh my god! Do I get to see that, or is this another map?
No, I guess
tease?
that's a tease. I guess.
Okay, that's good. That's 2. That's 2 thus far. All right, let's head into card number 2.
Awesome.
And it's a rare.
Yeah, this is rogue weapon.
I see.
Shadowblade. Yeah.
Adding in more and more rogue weapons, I see. Because, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about, like, where are the rogue weapons ever since the Blade Flurry nerf happened. And this, I mean, rogue has a really hard time healing at all.
Right. Yeah, this fills some holes for rogue, right? It's tough to compete with the rogue hero power actually making a weapon. You need a very good weapon to justify it in your deck.
Right.
And I'm excited about this. I think this does that. We've seen 3-cost 3/2 weapons in the past be good enough to run when they have good powers. This is quite good, right? Not taking any damage when you're finishing off a bigger minion, right? Finishing off that 7/7 that you maybe send your minion into first is a big deal, right? That's 7 points of health. And it's kind of interesting too if you're facing things like the Leper Gnome, because it's for the turn, so you don't take their death rattle damage. So it comes up every once in a while where you're not, you're able to kind of play in your turn where you're like, I'm actually not going to get hit by that death rattle. So yeah, kind of neat.
Wow. Yeah, I can also imagine this is going to be really nice. I feel like a lot of the style of rogue is just big swing turns, where you have nothing on the board, and I can imagine now you play the Shadow Blade, you play the SI7 agent to ping, and then hit a 5 health minion to kill it, to clear the board, and you still haven't taken any damage.
Right, you still have your weapons, still have your agent, and damage. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
How does this wind up faring in some of the existing archetypes that we've seen? Like your traditional Miracle Rogue.
Right.
But everyone's running, with your Sherazins, your Arcane Giants, trying to get to that big delay.
I'm curious if it'll fit into there. I don't know that it does. It lets you do some things that maybe Miracle Rogue might want to do, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's always fun when we release new cards to see, because we have our predictions, and then we see what the players do, and it often is surprising.
Well, okay, so you're hinting at something, right? Because I think that when everybody thinks Rogue, they think Miracle Rogue. They think Gadgets and Auctioneer. I forgot this was a neutral card. I thought it was a Rogue card, right?
Right.
Are there non-Miracle archetypes that you've found in your playtesting with this new set, without spoiling anything that would lose your job?
Right, everything going through my head is, maybe I should spoil the cards. No. Yes, there is. Valera is the new Death Knight, obviously, for Rogue, and she is quite good at making a new style of Rogue. She's also good potentially at Miracle Rogue, but I think she's got enough potency that she's good.
I want to know so badly.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to see her.
We are going to get to see a Death Knight today. I've been promised one Death Knight.
It's true.
And that's all I know. All right, hit me with card 3. Hit me with it, production. Let's go. Another rare. It is Defiled.
Warlock.
1 damage to all minions. If any die, cast this again.
Yes.
Oh, this card.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about this card, and then I want to react to this card, because I have some strong opinions.
Okay, cool. So this card's interesting. It's one of the things that we explored kind of when doing the vibe and the story of the set, is we're killing the heroes of Warcraft, right? So Gul'dan has his Death Knight version. This is a Warlock card, by the way.
Yeah.
And they're also getting some of the Death Knight spells and minions in their class as well.
Right.
So this is a iconic Lich King spell, Defile. And I absolutely love this card. It's incredibly skill testing. So you want to set up basically a domino effect, right? You want to have a 1 health, a 2 health, a 3 health, a 4 health, a 5 health, however high you can go to totally wipe out your opponent's board. So it becomes this puzzle of like, what spells do you have in your hand that can set that perfect domino up? Do you trade your 2/2 into their 5/5 so that you now have a 3 health minion in play and then start it going? And it's a little mini theme as well. This if your conditions met, cast me again spells that we have in the Knights of the Frozen Throne.
Wow.
Yeah, I love this card. 2 mana, wipe your opponent's board sometimes.
Yeah,
pretty good.
this is, okay, so I want to tell the very tragic story of me trying to get Lakari Sacrifice decks to work, okay? So Lakari Sacrifice is a quest that says, don't win, right? That's my experience when I'm playing it. I can't kill anyone. I don't know how to build the deck archetype, but I'm starting to get there. I'm no Brian Kibler, right? I'm not getting my over 50% win rates, but what I've found is that it is really a big struggle to try to stay alive in the first few turns because you've spent that very first turn on Lakari Sacrifice. And you lose so much momentum with Warlock. And I can imagine that this would fit very nicely in that 2-drop slot. I mean, a lot of Pirate Warriors will have 1, 2, and 3 cost minions in order on the board. I mean, this card's awesome.
Yeah, I predict it will make a big impact for exactly what you're talking about. It's early game defense that can also be late game defense as well.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, I've just had an epiphany, and it's not because someone in production just held up the words Dreadsteed.
Awesome.
Does this break the game if you just play Dreadsteed and it casts infinitely?
The answer is yes. It does break the game. So we've made a change to Dreadsteed for a while because it creates a never-ending turn. So Dreadsteed now reads, Death Rattle, at the end of the turn, summon a Dreadsteed. So you will no longer go infinite with cards like this with Dreadsteed. We had to make a tough decision. Do we break the game? Do we not ship Defile? Or do we fix Dreadsteed?
That would have been cool, though, because then Warlocks would only win or draw.
Yeah. Well, it was funny when somebody was showing, I'm standing over a computer and they're showing me Defile with Dreadsteed and it just never ends. And I'm like, I think we need to fix this. I think this is an issue. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, this card's awesome.
Super interesting. All right, cool. Let's go to card number 4. We've done neutral, rogue, and warlock. Ooh, cryostasis. Give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. Oh, that's really interesting. This seems like one of those, Swiss Army knife style spells.
Yeah, exactly. It's Shaman, by the way.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of spells in Hearthstone where you can target either side of the board. Right, but usually there's an obvious, I want to fireball my opponent's minions and not my own minions. This card's actually very interesting. It actually comes up where you want to do both sides, right? A taunt minion on your side getting +3/+3, it might be fine that it can't attack, but the fact that it's a lot bigger and can take down their minions could be a great play. Or you need to slow your opponent down, right? Freeze their 5/5 because you can hex it or do something to it later. And it also synergizes, people have seen Icebreaker, the new weapon for Shaman, that lets you take out frozen minions.
Yeah, I was going to say, for any of you who don't know Icebreaker, it's a 1/3 Shaman weapon. Is it 2 mana? 1 mana?
2 mana.
2 mana? Okay, so it's a 2 mana, 1/3 weapon. And it says, any minion damaged by this weapon, if it's frozen, kill it.
Right.
And so there's only Frost Shock. I think was the only way to freeze.
Right, and there's some neutral from Angoro. We get a 1-drop that does it, right? So Shaman had just a few tools. So this is one of a few examples of Shaman getting more ways to do freeze. And this is a great example of how when we approached the set, we said, okay, they're becoming Death Knight. What does that mean for each class? And for Shaman, we said, okay, they're going to embrace the Frost rune, the Frost side of Death Knight. So you'll see a few more Frost Matters, Frost build-arounds for Shaman.
I can completely imagine this also. There's so many Shaman decks right now that are just trying to do any technique to get the board built and then blow you off with, blow you away.
Right.
With Bloodlust, Matt.
Yes, with Bloodlust.
And so, with those style of archetypes, it makes me think that this could be a very nice way to just delay for one turn.
Yeah.
And make sure that you can set up that Bloodlust combo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love this card. It is, like you said, Swiss Army knife. got a lot of uses.
Yeah.
Very cool. We're about to see some uses, actually.
Okay.
With our next card.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? Robbie, whenever another minion is frozen, add a copy of it to your hand.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So, let me run this thought by you.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Ready.
Let me just throw this out there. So, if you cryostasis an enemy creature, it's frozen now. It's a little bigger. It's all right. We're going to take some damage as Shaman. No big deal.
All right.
We get good RNG on Healing Wave every time. And then I run into them with the weapon to kill it. But before I've even killed them, it's in my hand again.
That's right. Yeah, you've got the copy. And you can do either side of the board. So anybody other than Marabi on either side will get you'll get the copy.
Huh.
Right.
That is, well, does that create any sort of weirdness where there's a lot of wish to self-freeze your side of the board?
It does, actually. Yeah. It does, because you want to get multiple copies of your minions.
Yes.
You're right. But is it worth it, right? Is it worth
Yeah.
it to freeze your guy to get multiples? And like I was saying, sometimes it is, like with taunt minions or minions that have, static powers that you want to
Yeah.
get more of. Yeah.
You know,
It's an interesting play. Yeah.
So we've seen, about half the cards at this point in time. I actually want to take a moment to ask a little bit about how you're thinking of the current metagame, right?
Right.
There's on the aggro side, we have obviously Pirate Warriors, very aggressive. The Hunter decks are starting to get more popularity with the
Right.
Quest Rogue nerf. Mage is also seeming to be out of control these days with Secret variants and Control. Miracle Rogue's doing all right. I mean, with all these different archetypes, Ungoro has been one of the richest metas that I think has, actually maybe the richest meta that we've seen since the start of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about the Bloodlust Shamans, I'm thinking about Evolved Shamans, I'm thinking about Elemental Shamans, and this just seems different from all of those.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the tough things too, right? Because when you know a meta and you see a new card, it's always hard to go, okay, could this create a new archetype that I haven't seen before?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And that's my hope. That's what I think is going to happen. Is this Frost Mage could be something that creates a new style that it's not currently part of the meta.
Yeah.
Which is one of the huge goals with any set, and I'm really excited about it happening for Shaman with Frozen Throne, right? All the Death Knight heroes doing that for new archetypes too. So yeah, it's always great. And like you said, Ungoro's done a phenomenal job of that. Hopefully we can add to that in really cool ways with Knights of the Frozen Throne.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our next piece here. I understand it's going to be a little Murabi gameplay, so there's cryostasis. Oh. Oh, this is...
So this is a water elemental. We spoiled her earlier. Whenever she damages a minion, she freezes it.
Be cool,
She's a new Shaman
man.
card as well. So your Shaman deck has Antonidas in its We're talking about freezing your own taunt minion, right? Can be a good play.
Right.
Elements guide me.
Oh.
It's a pretty good turn. Actually, you could have frozen Antonidas again if you wanted to get another copy of them, which is pretty insane.
What?
Yeah.
It
It'll
double
stack up,
freezing
yeah, double stacking will actually work with Marabi.
Okay.
So, pretty
okay.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty
All
crazy
right.
combinations are now possible.
Yeah. I mean, there's an increasingly large number of just take from the other person. Rogue's obviously snatching a whole lot of cards from the opponent. And
Right.
Priest always has. And now
Shaman gets a little access to it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But in a way that's like very controlled for both sides. They very much so see what the risks are.
Right. Yeah.
going
Yeah.
in.
Much more controlled. You're right. And without spoiling it, Shaman might be getting another freeze card too in the set, which would be perfect. with Marabi.
They might. They might not, but they might. All right, let's go on to our next card. Eternal Servitude, 4 mana. Discover a friendly minion that died this game, summon it. Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Priest, by the way.
Yes, that's the best. Because again, we always ask, does this work for Shadow Priest? Does this work for Ramp Druid? Can I
Right.
do a crazy combo with this?
Right.
This feels nice. This feels like a nice card.
One of my favorite archetypes, especially for Priest, is is Resurrect, and of course, running Barns, running a lot of fun synergies with it. But you get a random minion from that, and sometimes you have 2 or 3 minions that have died, so you don't always get the minion you want. Eternal Servitude is perfect for that because now you can control it in a way. You can get that perfect minion back.
In terms of this set,
Yeah.
what are the resurrect effects that are still in the game? Onyx Bishop
Right.
is still there, and I don't think
Resurrect.
good old 2-mana Resurrect is in.
Yeah. So now you can run 4 in your deck. 2 of these.
Nice.
2 bishops. Yeah. So we've got once again to tease something. I think we have one of the best Resurrect targets of all time coming in Priest as well, Knights of Frozen Throne. I think a lot of people will agree with that. I'm very excited about it. Don't get to spoil it today, but
Okay.
Yeah.
But soon to come. See, I gotta say, there's this has been a slightly unusual card reveal cycle because of the fact that there have been so many cards that have been released in the last week, like so many.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back to my little streaming computer after this and kind of do the mix and match and put cards next to each other and see what's up. All right, next card. Let's do it. Apprentice. Your opponent's spells cost 1 more. Oh, this is like a very interestingly statted and costed card.
Yeah. Yeah, she's interesting. She's basically the reverse of Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
I actually love the VO on her. I don't know if you remember Sorcerer's Apprentice. Someday I want to be just like you.
Yeah.
Her VO is someday you're going to be just like me. She means she's going to kill you and turn you into Death Knight. Pretty fun. Pretty dark. She sits in a super creepy way. Pretty cool. She's very interesting for people who play Sorcerer's Apprentice, right? It's often best when you're playing a lot of spells all at once, right? And the reverse is true here against, right, Miracle Rogue. Decks that want to play coin or lots of cheap spells late, she stacks up and creates a lot of value. In addition to, hey, I know you have Brawl, so I'm going to throw her out so you can't do a turn 5 Brawl, right? That's also strategic, but she's very good against the spell-based decks.
I'm curious. A lot of the mage decks right now are built around burn, doing miracle work with primordial glyph. There's also the secret decks that are trying to get big tempo turns, but there hasn't really been a lot of just tempo mage that's not secret-based. Is this the sort of card that you've been seeing crop up? I've even seen some other cards that feel like they'd be really nice for tempo decks. I don't remember the name of it, but the mage card that puts a mirror image into your hand and is a 2/6.
Oh yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I'm always curious to see how the players do it. Yeah, I'm curious to see.
Yeah, because Duped Apprentice also seems very fragile at 3/2 for 3.
Right. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's more of a kind of a sometimes called tech card. Right. Is the meta right for this? Right. And if Miracle Rogue was super popular, her odds of being part of the meta go way up.
Yeah, and this isn't it's not like a blunt tool like your opponent cannot cast 0 or 1 mana spells. Right. It's like a very soft, like just creates a new problem. Right. This is a really interesting card. All right. Yeah. I'm ready for the next one. Give me the cards, man. Hit me with them cards. Prince Valinar. If your deck contains no 4-cost cards, gain lifesteal and taunt.
Yes.
This is one of the most chill legendaries. This just seems like a really nice value legendary in a lot of decks. Yeah.
Funny use of words. So this completes the Blood Prince Council. So we've got 3 Blood Princes, 1 at 2, 1 at 3, 1 at 4, that all have this first part of their text that you cannot run any cards of their cost in the deck to get their benefit. It's a phenomenal minion if you meet its requirements to get both taunt and lifesteal together on a 4-cost 4/4. Right, it's perfect because lifesteal, to force them to have to attack it so that you're more guaranteeing that you get the lifesteal to go off. Very good, but is it worth it? And this is the type of card I love where it's a pretty big restriction. It's not Reno level, but it is an impact on your deck. Right. What does it cost, Hunter versus what does it cost Druid, right? Druid can't run Swipe. That's a pretty big deal, right? Maybe.
Paladin has a lot of 4-cost cards, so.
But yeah, and this completes these are all 3 of the princes. So what I'm hoping to see is, can somebody actually run all 3 of these princes?
I'm going to try.
No 2, 3, or 4 costs. Sounds insane, sounds impossible, but yeah, I'm sure somebody will try.
All you have to do is win the one game. That's all I need. Yeah. I have a knack for trying to come up with the worst possible ideas and then just not letting them go.
Yeah.
It's great. Right, awesome. It's really, but the thing that's interesting about this is that this is just not an extreme or crazy effect. This just, to me, says if there are token druids, if there are pirate warriors that are getting a lot of small creatures on the board in your hand, you don't need to run a lot of 4-slot cards. You can put this in and it's pretty reliable.
Yeah, totally.
We haven't talked a lot about Arena yet. Is this seems like a little bit maybe of a dangerous choice early on in Arena draft. But
yes, yeah, these guys are really tough in Arena, actually.
Yeah.
Because if you get them early, can you still avoid 4? And obviously, if you get them late, you already have 4s. But if somebody did this in Arena, it'd be quite the payoff.
Yeah, yeah. This seems like a nice card. Maybe you want a little more stats in Arena? I don't know. I'm not the best at Arena. Either way, let's do the next one. To the next card. Yes, Warrior. Dead Man's Hand. Whoa! Oh, Fatigue Warrior, welcome to the show. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh, oh Matt, thank you. This card is awesome.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's
wow.
It's reminiscent of Gang Up, right? In the terms of, hey, these cards are kind of cheating in a way. I get more copies than I'm supposed to have of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you mention Fatigue, one of the interesting things this does is if you have 2 in your hand, you play one gets put back in your deck, you still have 1 in your hand, you draw the next one, you play it again. Wow. So kind of like Druid can do, a J Druid, you can go infinite. So it's pretty interesting. Those high cost legendaries or armor up cards.
Those
getting them
Cold Light Oracles.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
You've already got a deck in mind, it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the way that I'll build the deck is I'll put in 2 Dead Man's Hands. I'll put in 2 Cold Light Oracles, and then I'll autofill. And I'm ready. It's time to go then.
I'll watch that.
Oh,
that's great.
Yeah. That's the build. So I think we've covered every class except for Druid at this point, and Paladin, I want to say.
Right. Okay, yes.
So I think we're going to see either a Druid or a Paladin card next. Okay, I think I've got that right.
Prediction, yeah.
Have we seen Hunter? Maybe we haven't seen Hunter. I don't remember. Let's go to the next card. I shouldn't make these kinds of Spreading Plague. Summon a 1/5 Scarab with Taunt. If your opponent has more minions.
Another cast again if you meet the condition card, yeah.
Oh my god. Mad place.
Yes. So yeah, this is interesting. This is if ever there's a comeback card, right, this is it.
It's Unleash the Scarabs. It's
exactly, yeah.
And there was the Druid Legendary that says Death Rattle summoned the taunt minions that died this game.
Right. Yeah. Hadronox, very good with this.
Oh my
What's actually interesting, you in the building the deck, do you run both Spreading Plagues? Because you don't want to only get 1/5s, because you have some other amazing taunt minions you can bring back, but you want some to make sure you're getting 7 guys back with Hadronox. So it's quite interesting in how you manage all that in Druid. Yeah.
Man, that is potent. I mean, we've already seen how nice it is to have Tar Creepers in control decks. I mean, obviously the fact that it's a 3/5 with taunt for 3 is great, but just 5 health is annoying to get through.
Right.
And this is many 5 healths.
Right.
This is up to 7 5 healths.
That's true. It's 35.
I'm amazing. Healths. Yeah. All right, and I understand we have some gameplay footage of the Scarabs. Oh no! Don't. Are we gonna kill the Snow Glitter Penguin? Don't tell me there's more than that. Is it going to end or is it going to cut off? Because if it does, that's like what local news does, right? They show the 2 cards coming at each other and they go more at 6.
Is it too? I think it's too brutal to show the penguins.
Oh my gosh! And then what's going to happen? This is so awful. Oh wow! Look at that! Oh, hit him with the wow! Oh my gosh! I can't even believe that sort of behavior is being encouraged on air. All right, let's spread it. Let's spread the Scarabs.
Right, so kind of the perfect scenario for the card here.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the hunters that run 7 copies.
And this kind of shows off the timing of Druid. They're abandon the mammal like Panther and Bear. Yeah. And Druid, Malfurion has embraced the Death Knight version.
Will rise against
There's more cards that do this as well.
Oh my gosh! Wow!
So we don't actually slaughter,
and they're okay.
The penguins.
Yeah, in fact,
they all hung out, had a party, shook hands.
Each penguin fell in love with the scarab opposite it, and they all got married.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
how
great?
that ended. That's exactly how that ended. But yeah, like you said, 35 health worth of taunt. Pretty good for 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really, really love the mechanic of if your opponent has more minions, cast this again.
Cool.
Or if trigger happens, cast this again.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And setting it up, right? Who do you trade off, right? Do you skip a turn of playing minions to set it up better, right? What is the right time to play a card, right? Skipping to play minions is a tough choice, but sometimes correct with cards like this.
And those are some of my favorite cards always.
Cool.
I mean, there's cards like a Piloted Shredder. If it's turn 4, you play a Piloted Shredder. Or
basically always, yeah.
In times of yore, the Chillwind Yeti.
Right.
When people thought the most OP thing in the universe was a turn 1 Chillwind Yeti. I mean, those are just great on-curve cards.
Right.
Those are important in any card game, but this is the sort of thing that I just love, those really interesting, choicey things.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's also, I love the kind of what we've explored here with the different, like, what does it mean to be a Death Knight version of Malfurion, right? So the insect stuff. Kind of a funny story when we were exploring the naming for this. The Deathstalker Rexar was the name we picked for Rexar, which is a ton of fun. We were naming it, we're in a group with Brode, and some of the names he pitched were, for Gul'dan, we're like, okay, what would be a good name? He's like, oh, how about Gul'dangerous? And I was like, does he mean that? He looked serious.
Did he not burst into laughter afterwards?
Right, he did not burst into laughter afterwards, so I'm like trying to figure out, like, how do I react to this?
Wait, so he says
because it's really funny,
and then sits still, not laughing.
Right, and so we didn't end up naming Malfurion this, but his name for Malfurion, I think it was him, Malfurious, which I love, but also I was like, okay,
it's like,
this is amazing, but
is this intended to be a joke?
Yeah, so pretty cool, but yeah.
All right, well, I understand that now we are about to hop into the next chord. Might be the last one, second one, third one. We don't really know yet. Oh,
a Death Knight hero.
Lich.
Yes.
Jana.
Yeah. She's mega powerful. All elementals for the rest of the game, any that you've already played on board, any in your deck, all have lifesteal. Pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yes. Which comes with a free elemental as well.
Yeah, what's the hero power?
So the hero power we're also going to get to see actually generates more elementals. Perfect.
All right. Look at me with the setup question. All right, let's see it. Frost Lich Jana. Deal 1 damage if this kills a minion. What?
Yes.
What? Matt.
Do not fear.
Oh.
So right, you get the 5 armor.
Wield it.
And this hero power for her. So a lot of potential. Yeah.
So, in terms of, Hearthstone always has great UI referencing. When you hover over Jana, does she say all your elementals have lifesteal?
She does it as a battle cry, so it's not there anymore. Our Mouse of Heroes doesn't have that.
But I assume
but
it's
it
on
shows
the
up on all the minions. Exactly.
Right.
So that's how you know. Yeah, really good.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah. So it's
very, very different from a lot of the traditional control mage archetypes because, a lot of them are relying on just bursting down with spells.
Right.
Traditional freeze mage uses, a lot of Pyroblast, Alexstrasza to set their health to 15.
Right.
Maybe some Antonidas fireballs go off. But this is the finisher of just endless board building and just slowly wearing down.
Yeah, and I'm curious how it changes those control decks, right? Because her by herself not only adds some control, some board control, but she's also a finisher, right? That potentially infinite amount of water elementals with lifesteal.
Right.
And it also creates a lot of interesting situations. And what do I run to make sure I'm going to trigger it? Do I run 1 health minions of my own? Because the hero power can target your own minions. I want to run maybe 2 polymorphs, right? That's a guaranteed 1 health minion to generate more water elementals. So it's interesting how it changes the deck to play control to best take advantage of her. Because she kind of on her own can finish the game. Right?
Yeah, these specific reveals are sort of like, mind bending because I'm going to do what probably most people are going to do and say, what deck was I playing yesterday? Does this card help the deck I was playing yesterday? And I look at this and I think it needs its own consideration.
Right. Is it a totally new type of deck? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else that that all of the Death Knight heroes come with that I'm pretty excited about is they all have their own new set of emotes as well. Oh. It's pretty fun. Which we get to show.
You're shivering. Are you afraid?
So
I can't believe you put that in. To the class that has ice block, you're shivering. Are you afraid? You monsters.
So your taunt, your ability to taunt.
You.
Oh, wow. Rub it in a little bit.
Wow, we got to hear
this again.
It's gone up
with these heroes.
By my frozen heart.
By my frozen heart. That's fine. That's very neutral. Yeah, that's good.
A fatal mistake.
Oof.
Every Death Knight hero.
Bow to your queen.
Bow to your queen. Yeah. Wow. Oh man. Wait, if you kill the enemy hero, does it summon a water elemental?
Summon a water elemental? It doesn't.
Oh, that sounds like
we
a
can
glitch.
fix that.
You got to summon that 1 water elemental.
Make them watch it before the game ends.
Yeah.
It's a little mean.
Yeah. Well, those emotes. I need to have something to go along with it.
Mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Death Knights are mean. Yeah.
Okay, now was this the last card? Is this the finisher? Is this the end?
Yes, we finished on the Death Knight hero. Pretty exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a really interesting set of cards.
Cool. Yeah.
That is.
I agree. Yeah.
Wow. Now I gotta ask. So we haven't yet seen all of the cards. There's going to be more reveals and reveal streams and all that sort of info and stuff. The expansion's coming out mid-August-ish, and I'm curious, what are some of the things that haven't been revealed that you're really excited about? Not specifically,
Right.
but just like what kinds of things.
Can't
is there
spoil.
a specific legendary? Is there one class's Death Knight that hasn't been revealed that you're really pumped about?
Yeah, I'm pumped about a bunch of them. So next week, by the way, is Death Knight Hero Week. So 7 more, the remaining 7 Death Knight heroes are all going to be revealed. Super exciting. I'm really excited about a bunch of them. Gul'dan is amazing. Yeah. I'm curious if he's going to make it. I love playing it. It's probably the deck I'm going to build first.
Gul'dangerous.
Super fun. Gul'dangerous. Yes, exactly. Yeah, totally awesome. Yeah, and we've also, it's really fun. People may know this. The prologue for the missions, which are free, is winning that is going to give you a free random Death Knight Legendary hero. So everybody's going to get one for free.
This is a good policy.
Fantastic, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I love the recent changes that have been going on with legendaries, guaranteeing no repeats, and the prologue is like just log in and play, and it's free.
Log in, play, free, right. You'll probably die,
awesome,
but you'll probably also win. We'll see how it goes.
That's great. That's the best part about the single player style campaign missions that you have, is that you can lose 50 times and win once, and there you go. There you have it.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, is there anything else we need to know?
Just... yeah, I mean, that's...
Welcome back, Snow Flipper Penguin. Right. And he's on his ice thing. Hey!
This is the sleeper of the set. Probably going to be the best card of the set.
I know.
How do you predict
I'm going to build a Weasel Tunneler Snow Flipper Penguin deck. It's going to be sick.
Cool, man. This is a ton of fun.
It was a blast.
Yeah,
I'd like to say thank you so much for sharing all this with us today. And that's it. This is done. We're over. What's going to happen now is I'm going to run off to a streaming setup across the street. And I'm going to be reviewing the cards that were revealed today, as well as some of the previously revealed cards, and try to just figure out how the hell the meta is going to work. I know my predictions are going to be wrong, because the degree to which these are creating different experiences is pretty exciting, I gotta say.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, from us here at Blizzard, I'm Sean Plott, and this is Matt Place. Goodbye. You're great. Play more video games.
Thanks.
Yes.